Now this is where it gets a little more complicated.
But also super applicable.
Yes. Now, because really, yeah, you could take like a sum of money and put it in the bank and let it sit there for 10 years or whatever and see what happens.
Right.
But ideally, what you want to do is put money each month into an account.
Right. Like a Roth IRA.
Yeah. Like for retirement and things like that. And when you do that, if the earlier you start, the better you'll be. Because eventually you could end up that the interest you're getting each month is enough like to live off of.
Yeah,
and that's
but not immediately, but like 30, 40 years down the line.
Exactly. So so that's for future value investment, where we have R is the payment you're making each month. This I for these is
it's a little bit weird.
Yeah, the I is the interest rate per compounding period. So that's going to be R over K.
Right.
And then the N is going to be the K times T.
Which is the number of times this happens.
Yeah, the number of times in a year that we compound or whatever.
So if you do something like a Roth IRA, and I believe as soon as you get a job, you can contribute to a Roth IRA.
Yeah.
And you would contribute monthly. This is a formula that you could use to figure out how much money you would have.
Yeah, like if you had a goal that by the time you retire, you want to have so much money.
Right.
Yeah. So in this example, at the end of each quota, sack of quotas.
I got a sack of quotas.
Quarter year, William makes a $500 payment into
All
the
typos
Hazelwood
are
Mutual Fund. Who's this guy William that's contributing to your fund?
That would be my son, Rowan William.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. If his investments earn 7.88% annual interest compounded quarterly, what will be the value of William's annuity in 20 years?
Right.
So this is future value, so we do future value. The R is the payment, so that's $500.
$500 4 times a year.
That's not really what I meant to do. Times, and we've got this big fraction where on top we've got 1 plus I.
And then the interest rate.
So that's the interest rate
over the number of times we're going to do it each year.
And it mentions quarterly.
That's 4. Quota.
And then the N is 4 times, we're doing 20 years.
Yep.
Minus 1. And then on the bottom, 0.0788 divided by 4. So the tricky part of this is we're going to give you the formula for this, but you have to remember what I and N are.
You got to put it all in. And if you can use the template on your calculator, that will help just tons.
Yeah, it is kind of tricky to get this plugged in right, but if you have a calculator that'll do fractions and make them look pretty, then you just literally make it look like it does, the way we have it written here.
Is that I Dream of Jeannie tune
Would you focus on typing?
I'm
just trying to
typing.
fill in the
silence.
silence.
2 guys walked into a bar. The 3rd guy ducked. Wow, that's quite a hefty little sum over 20 years there. $95,483.39. Now, can we just take a little quick side note here?
And compare.
Let's just say, how much money did we really invest?
Right, so $500 each month for 20 years. So 500 times 12 times 20.
That is, I've got an error. Something's wrong.
How did that look? That's not right. What'd you do wrong?
0.078 500 times.
Oh, not 12 times 4. 500 times 4.
Oh, shoot. Okay, yeah. There we go. Okay, yeah. I was like, no, our math is good. Our math is good.
No, it's not.
Now it is. We only invested $40,000.
Wow, so that's $55,000
extra that we didn't have to do anything for.
That's amazing.
That is amazing.
And before I switch this off, the present value is talking about a loan. So future value talks about an investment. Present value talks about a loan, where if you're doing like a mortgage or a car payment.
Buying a car.
R then is the payment you pay each month.
Right.
And ends up giving you
how long it would take to do that.
Yeah.